Hello, this is talking about most recent updates to both Welcome Hub order delivery pages and Welcome Hub Access Hub pages. First is the type of URL that we're looking at. URLs currently have your domain, either a custom domain or welcomehub.org/your domain, and then order and then slash. So what this means is each order is technically an individual page that's dynamically rendered, and we're updating that for the future. So what's happening is behind the scenes, I'm redirecting that URL to the new style of URL. So you shouldn't have to change anything. Currently, the old URLs will continue to work. So what we have here is we changed the lookup to be a search parameter so that this page is actually statically rendered, which means it'll load more quickly. And when we have changes to the theme or styles or content on the page, we can refresh all of that that's stored in the cache. So that will mean we have faster load times for pages, and we don't have to get that information every single time a new order is looked up. So this is really exciting. Also, changing these to a different style of search parameter means that we're set up for supporting more types of systems rather than just Convius in the future. So that's level one for those changes. Additional architectural changes include what we did on Access Hub as well. So what we can see is like this looks the same right now, but it's actually changed the pages around, and we can demonstrate this by seeing it side by side. So there's architectural changes, but then a lot of UI changes to Access Hub. So let's go through them. And I have the current live version here all the way on the right, and then in the center is the new version. So first of all is the device camera, where it loads into the page here, and then I would have to scroll down to do the scan if you're using a device camera. In the new version, we are now loading it in a modal so that the camera opens up more central, and you don't have to do any scrolling to have quick and easy access to scanning. This also does work with an external scanner. So I have this little external scanner here, and if I open the camera and I also do a scan here, then it's going to show the loading and messaging in this way. And then also like this, if I continue to do scans, but I have a message up on the screen, it will not process any more scans until that is cleared. And I could just click on the background to clear that. So let me go ahead and log in here using the screen camera. And that's using an access card. So what you saw is it loads more quickly now. Let me go ahead and log in with this one as well. And sometimes it's weird. Let me just go ahead and scan that device. So we can see it's a lot cleaner. Some of the navigation changed a little bit, just highlighting those styles and making it much more mobile friendly. So rather than having this hover effect that's not really needed on mobile devices, we are now consolidating that up. But it is still just as responsive in the same sort of way. I don't have all of these other pages working yet, but imagine this will be a guest list for something like a VIP tour or groups or that sort of thing. So you could pick the different types of products that we want to show on here to show who we're expecting today and the times there. But those ones aren't done. So when you log into your Access Hub, you're only going to see the main hub and just the scanning module activated. Now, I don't know if you saw that too, like the speed at which it's loading is quicker using the new architecture. And that's because these are also, each page in here is a search parameter. So everything is loaded once and it acts more like a self-contained app rather than needing to load every single page and getting the theme every single time a new page loads and that sort of thing. That also means that we have access to all of the functionality needed in the entire app on every single page if we wanted to. Oh, we also updated the designs for test mode. So if I'm scanning in test mode, before it was just this banner here, and I had to click that to switch between test mode and live mode. So now we just have where you could click the entire banner. And if you're in test mode, you can tell because we're using these yellow diagonal bars across the whole backdrop so that we can more easily see that we're in test mode. And when we're not in test mode, we go back to the green and the other background there. So let's go ahead and look at the camera here. Oh, if you didn't notice too, we also have a nice little banner so that you can easily see the date and time. And if you click the time, it does go to a 24-hour clock if you prefer military time. Um, and that will help, especially for apps that you're running on a device and you have it saved to the home screen. Some Android devices, when you have it saved and it's in full screen mode, you cannot see the date and time from the device. Uh, iPhones, you can see the date and time from the device, but having it there just makes it easier to access. Eventually, I want this to be something even more dynamic where you could click on it. You can see updates for today. If we wanted to test, if we were switched over to test mode and we wanted to switch the date to test other dates, um, or see what's coming up for today. We could have notifications. We could have all sorts of things related to the date and time, weather, all that sort of thing that really helps with operations and keeps it centrally located, all within the app. All right, so now let's go to scanning. And here it was in the page. So um, when we start having more scans in here, you'll see that it's not super friendly. And so when we move to this model where it's the same sort of scanner where it's overlaid, then we can more easily see what's going on there. So let me load an actual ticket. Let me scan an invalid ticket. And so it can't find that. And now it shows the message here and it won't go away. So if I'm in production mode, on live mode, um, and I have an invalid scan, it's going to want me to take action on that scan. So I can either touch outside of the window or hit dismiss, and that'll make it go away. If I had done the same thing on this one, the lookup's not great, and it shows the not found underneath there. Is what it is. It's getting better. I'm gonna go ahead and turn these cameras off because I am going to just use my connected scanner and then I could show you what that looks like. So let's actually load tickets in here. I'm on my iPhone. I'm gonna go over to my Apple Wallet and get my tickets. Let me go ahead and switch to test mode, to scan in test mode first. Also, when we are in test mode 2 here, we can see that there's a banner here at the bottom that does say test mode so that you can check that you're in test mode here as well. So if I scan this in test mode, it does also say test mode at the top of that item as well. When you're in test mode, there's not really any action that you can take on a ticket. I can't allow it in or anything like that. So yeah, let me go ahead and scan that one in over there so that we're doing the same actions. So here it's live mode. So you can allow a ticket in that was not valid if it's in live mode. And you can continue to do the same thing here. So let me go ahead and scan that again over on this one. So now it's going to wait for action if it's an invalid scan. And with invalid scans, we can say, okay, go ahead and allow this one in today. Additional changes include us parsing this information here. So previously, the information came back from the API in this not very human-friendly phrase. So with this, we're taking all of the different phrases that it could come back to us with and interpreting it so it shows better here. So I can easily see that it's not valid, and the actual scheduled visit date was August 3rd from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I can go ahead and allow this one in. I don't know if you heard that too. We also have some sound effects. And on mobile devices, we do have a little haptic effect as well, so that you could easily see that. You do need in your settings to have haptics enabled in order to let that happen. So like on an iPhone, if you don't like keyboard haptics, it's the same sort of haptic as a keyboard haptic. So you need to make sure the keyboard haptics are enabled if you want to feel the haptic. And it's just like little dun dun if it's good and a dun 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 if it's not good. And the actual sound effects that we are using, it's not like a sound if it's a bad scan. It's just a different sound that uh, is more neutral, whereas a good scan is a more upbeat sound. And if we want in the future, we can customize those audio files that we are playing. All right, let's go ahead and scan more in because I'm sure what you are interested in noticing here is this nice little summary of what was scanned as well. So previously we did not have those where we could see what was scanned. So I'm just going to scan a bunch into this one. So that was it before, and now we keep the uh, same awesome features with showing the type of ticket, but we have that better error message and write that one in. Let's go ahead and do some like this as well. And you can see too, like if I keep putting this here, it's not going to try to process more scans while there's a message up or while we're already validating. So that should help with some of the double scans that we've been seeing. I can allow that one in. Yeah, I'll go ahead and turn that off. Hello. Wow. Let me switch over and do some passes as well. So say we have a pass holder, go ahead and scan those in. Now, sometimes passes may be set up to where they don't like reset the access every day. If you're seeing annual pass style tickets for your venue that are showing up as a barcode already scanned, that means you need to go into the source system and adjust those access rules to allow that multi-use and to not need a scan out, because some tickets need to be scanned in and then scanned out of the attraction or facility in order to count in the source system. So these ones are meant to just always allow scanning. You don't need to scan out. But if you did have some show up where it said it's already scanned in, then you can just allow it and it'll go through. So now we have all of these here. And we can see our summaries have been updating every single time we do a scan. And we are sorting through those and grouping them together. I don't have us removing duplicates yet. So that'll be something in the future where, see how this adult ticket, there were 2 invalid and 2 valid scans. That is really just they 2 that were scanned already, we allowed in, and now they're counted as valid, and they really should cancel each other out. Like, these invalid ones should probably go away. Uh, but that's just some more smartness that we need to add in the future of how to allow and filter all of these. So what this will do is it just groups everything down into the types of tickets. I'm not doing any other grouping on these yet. Eventually, we'll be able to apply the same sort of grouping that we're using on the order delivery pages. So the same sort of way we're saying these all count as admission tickets. We're gonna apply, and then these ones are all food and beverage. We're gonna apply that same type of sorting to our admission tickets because it's all stored on the same system. So I could easily identify, oh, adult, this one, essentially all these green ones right now are admission. And I could group them into another group that says admission. And then you could click on admission and drill down from there to really understand the types of tickets, the groupings of tickets that are being scanned at the facility throughout the whole day. Now, the scans that are pulled will only be for the current day, but it will be all of the scans throughout the current day. So we don't have the concept of different locations that are scanning. And I also don't have it split between different users logged in because I think we are sharing access cards right now. We have a limited number of access cards. But that'll be something that we'll add in the future. We'll have device recognition so that we can track the scans from both devices, users or user login cards, and then also locations that we're identifying. And then when we come back over to the hub, it takes a minute to update, but this also has those scans here so that someone could just be watching these from like an administration side without needing to go into the full scanning application, which is cool. These are not auto updating though, so it will not update real time whenever changes are made. I will add in like a refresh button here, or we could add in like an auto refresh every 5 or 10 minutes or something like that in order to get the most up-to-date stuff. Real time is something that we could look into doing in the future, but there are more costs involved with that. So we decided to keep it nice and simple for this first phase of these analytic reportings. And I think that's like a good summary of everything that we have. You can see that now if I refresh this page, it should. Let me go ahead and just restart that app. So yeah, this is a good example. Like when I refresh this page, I don't have a way to auto refresh. I guess I could have done this, refresh. Gosh, forget how to refresh apps, sorry. So we can see some good changes here where we're now taking these reasons or this text and going through it to identify exactly what we want to show. This is kind of neat too, because we can see this is Silver Pass and it's called Silver Pass here. Um, but then this section here, buy your annual pass, this is actually like what grouping it was purchased under, which is really cool because if you have the same product, like a general admission, and you're selling it in a package like a summer fun package, but then you also have it in another section, and it's the same product really, um, especially in the source system. It's configured as exactly the same product. We can see how or what it was purchased under. So like this burger menu product is called burger menu, but um, it was actually purchased under like it as an upsell add-on, and the dynamic pricing product grouping was used to buy the original products that were in there. So this is a really neat little piece of reporting that we could add into those summaries and aggregations to see, okay, these are the types of products, but what products from where were they purchased, without you needing to set those all up as multiple different types of products. So that's really cool and really exciting. And I'm really excited to get these changes out into the live environment so that you can start looking through them. I'll also, anyone who's using my system now, I'll do some private demonstrations of what this will look like for your exact data before we go live, answer any questions that you have, and get this up and running. All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time.